Farescape Engineers Inspect the summary video. We're here in Palisades Park. We're doing the Farescape examination. Pre-load test examination to determine if this Farescape is ready to go and accept a load test. Right now at this time it cannot proceed to a load test in that we have some issues with the Farescape. So it must be structurally sound, must be kept painted. We have some structural issues that prevent us from load testing this Farescape at this time. Those things can be resolved and then we can proceed and schedule immediately a load test, or if at this time they choose to change all the fasteners on this Farescape, there is no load test. Farescape also needs to be painted because the Farescape is older than 1978. It's presumed to have lead. So anybody scraping and painting this Farescape should have a D-letters license, a renovator's license, so that they can touch and they know how to properly deal with the lead paint issue. Structurally, this Farescape is an all bolted Farescape, so no welding of any kind can be done on this Farescape, in that you would be burning lead paint, and that is against EPA guidelines. So with that being said, let me talk about what's wrong with the Farescape and what needs to be done. What we have here is rust in all the connections. So every one of these connections, especially this frame, all the heads are gone on the nuts, so the framework, 100% of the framework needs to be changed out. You got the bolts, the flats that run from the back to the front. Some of them are in good order, but some of them have rust in them, so you have to find which one of those are bad and change those, and then we can go to the load test or change both, and there is no load test on all of these. So again, such a small structure, I would recommend changing all the bolts at this time to avoid the load test that happens every 5 years. This is original hardware. Even though it's in good order, you change that out now, we don't have to load test this ladder for the next 15 to 25 years, but you keep this original hardware, then we have to load test every 5. So it's up to the client which is more economical. Spot repair now and load test, or fully refurbish and avoid the load test every 5 years for the next 15 to 25 years. As you can see, the frame, the nuts are gone, and if you keep going down, you're going to see rust from below. So a lot of these screws and nuts, there's just a lot of rust in those connections, okay? So scrape and paint, tying into the building, we need to verify that the inside connection, and once I go down and the photographs show that some of the clips that go inside need to be verified to make sure they're tying inside, and that's a small incision or a small hole inside the building to confirm that these brackets are in good order. These brackets also have a rivet on the end here. That's a diagonal brace going back down. So verify those and we load test, or change those out, there is no load test. On the Farescape of this size, this small, I recommend highly that you change all the fasteners and avoid the load test. Spend the money that you would spend on a load test, spend it back here. That tree has to be removed, 100% of that tree. That tree is an obstruction. It's obstructing the ladder now, but it's also obstructing your ability. And it's only going to keep growing, and she's going to interfere with this Farescape. There's also some ivy. Got to be careful that this ivy that's climbing up, because as soon as it comes up and hits the steel here, it's going to start eating the steel. So I would basically stop that ivy from coming up and getting onto this steel. Okay, needs a paint job. Must be an EPA renovator's license. Get rid of the tree. Right now we cannot load test, and she has failed the pre-load test examination with too many structural issues on this Farescape. Any questions? Farescape Engineers Inspect the summary video, 866-649-0333. Farescape Engineers Inspect the summary video. This is the rear-facing Farescape made of wood. Currently this inspection does not include this rear-facing Farescape, but as a comment, the Farescape looks like it's in good order. It's a wooden Farescape on the back of a building exposed to the weather. It doesn't look too bad, but this is not an examination. This is just a casual observance that the Farescape looks like it was recently built, probably in the past 10 to 15 years, and that she still looks good. But I recommend that the client, in getting this Farescape secured for an inspection, that they reinforce the joints, seal the joints with silicone to stop the freeze and thaw that could occur on these, and reinforce any screws or anything on this Farescape with metal plates that they sell at Home Depot. And if they ever wish to have this Farescape examined and certified, we very rarely load test wood ones, that this could be done very quickly, again with minor reinforcement, using metal and just buttoning up and sealing a lot of the joints on the treads, on the posts, on the platforms, on the rails. That'll basically get another good 15 plus years out of this if those steps are taken. Any questions, Farscape Engineers? Inspector Summary Video, 866-649-0333.